So, Gabe, I want to talk to you about another story in your newsletter about how the Nigerian Army, and I became aware of the story last week. I follow the Nigerian Army on Twitter, as I have because I was based there, and they tweeted out a video of President Trump talking about what U.S. soldiers might do on the border if challenged. I want to play a little bit of the video.
Anybody throwing stones, rocks, like they did to Mexico and the Mexican military, Mexican police, where they badly hurt police and soldiers of Mexico, we will consider that a firearm. Because there's not much difference when you get hit in the face with a rock, which, as you know, it was very violent a few days ago, very, very violent. That break-in, it was a break-in of a country. They broke into Mexico. And you look at what's happening in Guatemala, just to mention Guatemala, along with El Salvador and Honduras. It's disgraceful that those countries aren't able to stop this.
So the president made those comments on November 1st. The Nigerian military retroactively used that video to justify actions that they had taken against Shiites, protesters in Nigeria. So they used it. They killed the individuals, but then they used President Trump's words after to justify what they'd done. Take our viewers through it.
Yeah, that's right. The timeline here is very important. So early last week, there were protests in Abuja, the Nigerian capital. A Shia Islamist group was protesting and throwing rocks at the military. The military then opened fire on the group, killing what Amnesty International claims is about 40 people, although the military says it was fewer. Trump then, on Thursday, as you mentioned, went on to make those comments in the light of the caravan making its way through Mexico and towards the U.S., and sort of opening or suggesting that the U.S. military would be justified in shooting those migrants if they were to throw rocks. And then, Vlad, as you mentioned, the Nigerian military then on Friday tweeted out that video to basically, as you say, retroactively justify what happened in Abuja, which was them shooting at protesters who had been throwing rocks. So, again, we've talked a lot about how Trump is having an effect globally. We opened this segment talking about how the midterms are an important reflection of America's role. And this is one concrete example about how countries see Trump as an example and how they, in this unfortunate instance, an example that allows sort of violence and human rights violations.
Yeah.